still here in the Indian Ocean in U-Boat the Silent Wolf to continue Shakedown cruise, per se. Me teaching you how to do your darn job when you're on the sub. Now, last one we did was engineering, which is on the back of the sub. We will be in the front of the sub for this one. Now, because I am doing this in single player, there are people here, but here, in the front of the ship, you have your torpedo tubes, you have your sonar equipment, and you have your radio equipment. We'll go through everything from the front to the back here before we get back to the command center. So, you have 4 torpedo tubes in here. You have your chains that will go lower thing to pick up a torpedo. It opens up, you grab the torpedo, you lift it back up. And you might break your controllers doing that. Obviously, you have your torpedo tubes, air out, so that empties the water in the tube. Hold it down, it floods the tube. Obviously, you've got open it up, swing the door open, close it, lock it. Your pump, your air pressure, and what tubes are ready to go. Your hammer is here by the door. Once you get into this area, sit down, Hans. That's right, you listen. Once you get into here, that's where it gets a bit more technical. Now, you obviously do have, and by the way, you have to reach back here and grab that. You have your wonderful music. If I ever find out which one is Tipperary, I'm just going to throw it in the toilet. Come on, grab that. There we go. Alright. Your hydrophone. When you crank this around, you'll be able to hear the sound of any enemy ship's engine. There are 2 settings. The single ship is close. 4 ships is long. So you can search to see if you hear a ship way far away. That is not going to happen since we're in the Indian Ocean. But that's how that works. Short range, long range. Okay? And that tells you the direction. The outside one will tell you a point to send your captain. If your captain says, hey, where are the ships? That's what happens. In here, you have the so as yet useless enigma that you can't really do much with. You have a loop antenna, a Morse code machine, which, again, doesn't do much yet. You can tap out messages, but you get to a certain point, and it does that. You get like 4, and then it says, no more! But your loop antenna, turn it on green, turn it on. Spin the dial, it'll search for a signal. Once you've got a signal, come over to this, and you start adjusting these knobs. You want it to turn green. When that happens, on all 3, get off the handle there. It spits out this piece of paper. It says map. That's literally what it says. It says map. Turn it off. Always turn your antenna off. If you're not using a piece of equipment, turn it off, shut it. But, wow, it didn't even give us a... Really? Wow, that's depressing. It didn't give us anything to target. But, when you do this... Yeah, I mean, come on, give me a target. When you do this, you use your loop antenna to find a target. What normally happens when it gives you the thing that says map is it'll put a point on the map that has an exclamation point, and that's your target. It'll take you to convoys. It's a very useful skill. A very useful piece of equipment. Instead of grabbing orders from the office every time, you can just sail to a certain point. Generally, you want to aim in the Atlantic, because it's 1940, guys. You want to be in the Atlantic, in the Mediterranean. There's a convoy up here, but it's a lot of fuel to get there. And you will run into convoys down here in the South Atlantic, but there's nothing in the Indian Ocean, there's nothing in the Pacific, because I've looked, and there is nothing in Antarctica. Because I've been all the way down there in Antarctica, way down there. And I didn't even see snow, so you want to be searching in the North Atlantic or the South Atlantic or the Mediterranean. That is where you will find convoys, and you use your loop antenna to do it. Okay? Hans, get the hell out of the way. That is an important piece of equipment, especially if you're going for tonnage. So, we've covered engineering. Now we have covered the front of the ship, which torpedo room and your radio man. And we'll stop this tutorial here.